Hi, I'm Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, and we have here with us today Julia Lanski. Hi Julia, how are you?
Hi Angel, I'm very well. How are you?
Awesome, very well. Very, very happy and blessed to have you here with us.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here today.
Excellent. I would like to start our conversation today asking you a very, very easy question, which is, what is that thing in your life that has you more passionate about?
I'm passionate about sharing my knowledge, sharing the wisdom, and spreading light and love with the universe.
Wow. And what is your source?
What is my source?
Where do you get all that wisdom and light?
My source is God, actually. It all comes from God. So I'm just a channel. I'm just channeling all the information and all the wisdom that I receive.
Have you had this sensitiveness to do that throughout your entire life?
You know, I was always connected since I was a little girl. It's so funny, like I've always knew that God is there and God exists, and no one ever told me about God, but He was my best friend. And so instead of talking to my parents or friends, I was talking to God. Whatever I had to go through in my life, He was always there for me. And it was so interesting because I felt His protection through many years in my life. And then something happened. I actually lost this connection at the age of 26, I think, when I left my country, because I'm originally from Russia, and I moved to the United States. And then I slowly started losing this connection because my ego got on the way, and I thought that I don't need God. I can do everything myself. You know, I can manifest things in my life. I can attract things. And I actually started calling myself like spiritual, and people would ask me, do you believe in God? And I was like, no, you know, like I believe, but not in God. I believe in universe and energy. You know, I just wanted to be cool and fit in with the rest of the people. But the connection with God was there from the very beginning.
How was it when you were a kid and you had God with you all the time, so present?
It was amazing, you know, and it's interesting because I had a very tough childhood. I mean, we all have stories, you know, we're all going through something, but mine was like really crazy. A lot of bullying in school, like abuse and stuff like that. The family story was crazy, like dad was an alcoholic, and so knowing that God is there for me was helping me to go through life. And even in the worst situations in my life, I felt His presence, and the outcome wasn't that bad at the end. Even when something bad would happen, like I knew it could have been worse. Like I was still alive, you know? So it was amazing, yeah.
Do you think that this is something that we can all develop?
Yes, absolutely. But it takes, how do I say it? It takes blind faith. You know, you have to believe it before you see it. And that's where it becomes challenging for people. You know, they want to see the results. They want to, you know, feel the presence of God, hear something. And it happens to some people. Like to me, I receive messages now. You know, I hear messages, I see, I have visions. And people want to get to that level, but it takes, you know, faith. You have to have faith. You just have to know that it's there, you know.
You're talking about levels,
Mm-hmm.
which is a very interesting concept. Do you think that, or how would you recommend our audience that, you know, what should they do to be able to increase their level or to go up in the level to the next level?
To the next level. It takes a lot of work. There are a lot of different things that people can do. It all starts from raising the awareness. You know, half of sleep, I mean, honestly not half, I think 90% of this of people, the population in planet Earth, they're still asleep. And they need to wake up, you know, but how do you wake up? You have to start doing something. You have to start either meditating or do some spiritual practice. For me, it was Kundalini yoga that actually opened me up, and I was able to finally receive. But it's not comfortable. The awakening, it's not comfortable. The day when I became fully awake, I spent 2 hours in the shower crying. And I said, why me? I don't want to be awake. I want to be normal. You know, I want to have normal life. I just want to be married, drive my car, you know, buy stuff, nice purse. Like, I don't want to deal with all this. Now I feel all this pressure that I have to go out there and share with humans all this stuff. And so I was crying for 2 hours.
Was it around, I mean, you said before that at 26, you kind of were hiding from God, if I can phrase it like that.
I fell asleep. I fell back asleep. I was pretending. I was trying to fit in, be like everybody else, you know? Yeah.
So that day under the shower was like a defining moment in your life?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was a defining moment, and I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to go back to sleep. And I actually went to see my guru, who was able to help me. I told him, what do I do? He said, you know exactly what to do. What are you asking me? I said, but I just want to be normal. And he was laughing. He said, don't we all? But he said, it's not in your destiny, so you know what you have to do. And that gave me peace, you know.
You said that you receive messages from God. Do you talk to Him?
Yes.
So it's a conversation?
It's conversation, yes,
And
now.
And what do you tell him or her?
It's actually him, the voice that I hear, it's him. And you know, just to add something, a couple of years ago, 4 years ago, I read the book Conversations with God, Neil Walsh, and I read Ask and It Is Given, Abraham Hicks. And I was kind of jealous, you know, of those people. I thought to myself, how come God comes to those people? They hear him, they talk to him. 4 years later, I am actually experiencing the same things. So to answer your question, what do I ask him? I actually ask him, how can I serve you? What can I do? That's all I ever ask. And I receive messages for people, to share with people. Like, for example, last message I received was about future. He said that people should not be worrying about the future. And it's like pointless that they're trying to plan everything, because God has unique purpose for each and everyone. And he said, I gave a free will to everyone. That's true. People can manifest their own life. They can attract stuff in their life. But the manifestation free will most of the time comes from their ego. So what God told me, that if people can just relax, let go, and rely on God, He's going to show them their unique life purpose. And when people are on their mission, when they're following their life purpose, that's when they feel fulfilled, you know? That's when they know exactly who they are. But people want to have control over their lives. They want to plan their future, you know? But it doesn't work this way. So after getting this message, I said to myself, there's nothing that I need to control in my life. I just have to let go and trust. And it's been working amazingly for me since then.
When was that? When did that happen?
That happened, the last conversation, the main last conversation was like 6 months ago.
Wow, so it's pretty recent.
Oh, yes. So I mean, it was before, but that one, yeah.
So when you receive those messages, does that represent like an inflection point in your life?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the last 6 months, you have had different manifestations, or?
I did, yes, I have different manifestations. And the last conversation happened with God. Again, it was in the shower. It's so funny. It happens to me either through my meditation. While I'm meditating, I receive the voice. Or in the shower. I don't know. There is something about water. You know, I think water actually raises our vibrations and clears the negative energy. And it helps you to be in this zero state point, I think the 0 point state they call it, so you can actually receive. So the message in the shower was crazy. I received that I have to go out there and start talking about God. And I'm like, really? Like, do I really have to do this? And then I heard the voice like, yes, you have to do it. And I'm like, is it really like, but then I'm like, I can't fight with it. This is it. Like, I can't pretend that I don't hear it anymore. And I have been pretending.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were talking about not planning. It's kind of tough when we are, taught, all of us,
right,
to follow certain plans, to plan for A, B, or C. How can we increase our faith in, our blind faith in that everything is going to be, good and well for us?
Yes.
Can we do that?
Yes, of course. With daily practice, with spiritual practice, that's what I do. I have my daily, routine, daily rituals that I'm following through. The day I don't do it, I fall back. I have fears just like everyone else. I'm doubting myself, like, do I really hear this voice, And then I'm like, come on, Julia, like, you see how your life is unfolding. You have to just have faith. And then I want to hear more messages every day. Like, how come I don't hear it every day? I need more. But that's my ego talking, like ego wants to have confirmation. Ego wants to feel important, to feel that, different, that I'm different, I'm special because I receive all these messages. But otherwise, yes, how to stay in that state of awareness. It's daily practice, rituals. For example, I meditate a lot. And again, I do Kundalini yoga, which opens me up. And once you maintain that awareness, it's easy to remind yourself to be in the present moment and just go with the flow, no expectations, and it's beautiful.
Do we lose our awareness? Are we, as human beings, are we already capable of being aware of everything? Is that something that we lose as we grow up?
Of course, it's the society projects all these things on us. Since the very young age, this power that we were born with, I call it the power within you, is been taken away from us by, society, our own parents. They didn't know any better, they told us, this is not real, why do you do this, why do you hear these voices? I truly believe that children are very connected to the source, to the divine, to God. They see angels and then they forget. So...
What should we do to keep that alive? What do you think we should do as parents to keep that alive?
I think it starts from the parents. The parents need to do work first. They need to be awakened and have this awareness. And then they just have to raise their children this way, to support them and to explain them that there is a power within them, which is God. Like we are God and God is us. So we actually have the power to manifest and attract things in our life. But once again, where are those things coming from? From ego or from the pure consciousness? So once you, are connected to the source, then once again, you're going to be on your life path and there's not going to be any doubts and fears.
How is the source?
How is
it?
It's amazing. It's pure love. When you feel this love, you actually feel the physical touch sometimes. It's the energy and it's so overwhelming and it's like never, I don't know, I have never experienced anything like that in my whole life.
And you said that you've received many messages in which you have to, go out and talk about God.
Yes.
Can you also teach people how to be more open, be more aware? How do you do it on a daily basis? What are your routines to reach out to people?
Yes, it's very easy. The way I do it, I just share my experience and be very open and vulnerable and authentic. It's not that I'm telling them what to do. I'm just telling people what worked for me, what happened for me, and that's all it takes. And by doing this, by just sharing my own experience, my own struggle, which I've been through a lot, I influence others. It does some magic. It sparks something in people, and it's actually reminding them of who they are. That's all people need. They need a reminder, like they need to remember who they really are.
Why they don't remember who they really are?
That's a good question. I think, I don't know, maybe it's some dark forces, dark energies, again, ego, our mind is there to protect us, the survival instinct, takes over. There's so many things.
What do you have a plan for the future?
Do I have a plan? No, I don't have a plan. Not anymore. Nope.
Excellent.
No plan. I just wake up every day and I pray now, and I used to not. And now I have this ritual, I actually pray. I start with gratitude. I say, thank you, God, for this and this and that. Second one, I actually do ask for something. This is how I learn it. You have to ask, because if you don't ask, God doesn't know what you want. You can pray 24/7 and not receive anything. And some people have actually a problem with that. They think that they're not worthy of asking things. But what God tells me all the time, that They need to ask. He wants to give them everything, the best life ever. But if you don't ask, you don't receive, right? So I start with gratitude, then I ask, I pray, and then I said, thank you, God. Like, show me the path, show me the way, lead me. Tell me what to do today, where to go, who do I help, who do I serve. And the voice is so strong, you know, it's guiding me every time, every day, somewhere where I meet people that I'm actually capable of helping. And it's just amazing.
Wow, that's very profound. I have to say we have really enjoyed having you here today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julia, for being with us. And again, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, and thank you very much for being with us today.